You used a word at the beginning of that response that I think Tesla would wince at, that word being average. The number, just 70% of Tesla's just using 70% of its plant capacity. That's on par with traditional automakers. Tesla is a company, as you and I have said, it positions itself as being cutting edge. It does not want to be called average. The board members of Tesla certainly wouldn't call Elon Musk average, right? They said last year, essentially, he's the only person up for the job. That's why they gave him that historic pay package. He has this, like you said, this pie in the sky idea to how to pivot. Do people in the industry, do experts, do people at Tesla, are they on board with this pivot? And is it going to be a moneymaker for him?
Those are great questions. I mean, obviously, we've seen a lot of turnover at Tesla, a lot of executives who've left, younger, promising engineers and employees who have moved on. Last week, I was visiting with a company that shall remain nameless, which is in the autonomous vehicle space, and their biggest source of new hires is Tesla people. Are people on board with it? I mean, Elon always promises a lot. And historically, his track record is very, very mixed. He has some spectacular wins, going back to Tesla itself at the beginning, really creating the modern electric vehicle market without question. Things would not have developed had Tesla not been the first mover in that space, and he really pushed that. In SpaceX, where lower cost reusable rockets have been a huge game changer in the commercial space industry. So he's accomplished many things. At the same time, he has many other things that he's promised that have not materialized, whether that's the Boring Company, the Hyperloop, all of his promises for Tesla as a solar powerhouse when they bought Solar City 9 years ago. Tesla today doesn't do a lot of solar. They do a lot of batteries for solar power systems, but they don't do a lot of solar. So, when he promises something, his track record is very mixed. There are some huge out-of-the-park home runs, and there are a lot of whiffs. And when it comes to humanoid robots, robotaxis, AI in general, will Tesla be the giant that he promises and he envisions in those space? There's just not enough hard evidence right now to say definitively one way or the other.
Elon Musk has a mixed track record, as you said. Now he's diving into robotics, seems to be wanting to go all in on robotics. Year-over-year sales for Tesla declined. This is paired with, as you and I have talked about, the plant capacity only being utilized at 70%. You're reporting that those things bad, things for Tesla could get much worse in 2026. How so? Talk to us about that crystal ball you see for the next year.
I would say objectively, I don't see how the company increases EV sales this year. So in the absence of some surprise new product that no one has on their radar, this would likely be another year of decline. There are some analyst estimates out there that have the company growing. And when the equity analysts that have the company growing global volume, I'm not sure what they see that I don't see. And when I talk to industry analysts who have no interest in the company stock, they too are sort of like flummoxed when they look at that. I think S&P, for example, who I spoke to for the story, they said at best they're flat. They hold at about 1.65 million units or so in total annual sales. So I don't see any improvement there, which means revenue does not grow. They're doing good business in their battery business. There is so much demand for batteries, for stationary application, for home storage systems, for solar power, for utilities, for companies, for data centers that need power backup. So the battery business is definitely a positive for Tesla. And they did a record amount of battery shipments in 2025. And in 2026, that'll probably also be a great bright spot for the company. Automotive sales, which again are alone about 80+% of Tesla's global revenue, that's going to be flat. And so when you see where the stock is, and a PE of say 300 or 400 times expected earnings. That's where there's this disconnect. The stock is riding solely on the belief that many investors have that Elon can deliver fantastic new businesses for the company. And again, these would be the robotics, robotaxi, AI. Those businesses didn't contribute meaningful revenue in 2025. So it's literally going from like 0 to 60 in pretty short order. Can Tesla sell humanoid robots at some point? Sure. Can it, have a functional robotaxi at some point? Most likely. It's just those are harder to predict the timetable on. Cars and batteries are solid businesses. Like they're very concrete and you can understand them and they generate a lot of revenue. Batteries is going in the right direction. Cars are not.